Hi, this is Architect Pramal Nagapushnam from What's Wrong Out There. This video is about 10 facts you did not know about Afghanistan. Interesting fact number 1. Traditionally, the Afghans were called Ben Israel, not for nothing, meaning sons of Israel. They claim to be the tribe of Benjamin. For those of you who don't know what it means, the biblical patriarch Abraham had 2 sons called Israel and Ishmael. You see this diagram below? Israel had 12 sons, of whom Judah is today's Jews, and Benjamin is today's Afghans. Judah and Benjamin were brothers. The Benjaminites are the Afghans today, and the Afghans and the Arabs are the sons of the patriarch Abraham. They are the same clan and of the same family. It's interesting to know that the Afghans had lived in the mountain regions, eating hand to mouth, perfectly described in the biblical description, Genesis 49:27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf in the morning. He shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. And this is the life of the Afghans. They were tribalistic, tough life. Raven as a wolf, and for this reason, they were never conquered by any nation. Not long, and they lived frugal life. As they lived frugal lives, and Afghans were virtually Afghanistan was virtually inhabitable by normal humans, and economically poor. And as such, things were tough, and colonizers had difficulty in colonizing and maintaining them due to the harsh environment. The economics of the place was difficult. Now, interesting fact number 2. Afghan was colonized by 10 nations: Assyrians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Indians, the Mongols, the Arabs, Duranis, the British, the Russians, and finally the US. Note that they were never had a peaceful existence. They were constantly attacked and never left alone. And for this reason, they were very harsh people. Now, interesting fact number 3. The only woman to capture the heart of the Alexander the Great of Macedonia was the beautiful Roxanne, an Afghan from northern prince of Balkh. She was beautiful. She bore him his only son before Alexander died at the age of 33. Fact number 4. Do you know the Afghan woman was so attractive that the British had a tough time? It caused the first Anglo-Afghan war. The Afghan people rose in answer to the call for jihad, all because of Sir Alexander Burnes, who was living there among the British, who committed adultery with the Afghan woman who were married to Afghan men. And he was very caught in the very act, and the country exploded into a violent rebellion, which led to the first Anglo-Afghan war. The first Anglo-Afghan war ended in the British greatest humiliation. The British were the greatest empire of the time. The soldiers were ambushed as they were retreating and utterly routed by poorly equipped Afghan tribesmen. Fact number 5. In the first Anglo-Afghan war, the Afghan humiliated the British. The whole battalion were killed, and all were killed except for one horseman who rode out in the adverse, treacherous route from Kabul to New Delhi to tell the tale of the disaster. Interesting fact number 6. The British generals and the soldiers who abandoned their wives in the first Anglo-Afghan war left their wives to the tribal men as undertakers as they withdrew. One of them is Lady Sale, who survived the tragedy of the trying times by living among the tribal Afghans. Interesting fact number 7. The Afghan tribesman who was the leader at that time was Akhbar Khan. He was a gentleman to care for the wives of the British soldiers who abandoned their wives as they left them to starve in the desert as they were retreating. Wives resigned to the fate of living with the Afghan people in a miserable condition, in hostile environment. Eerie fact number 8. The war cry by the US President Bush on the Afghan war in 2021, "Bring them on," was the same war cry that the British general used 108 years ago on the Afghan people. He said, "Bring them on." A strange repetition of history. It's eerie because definitely not coordinated by both these men. The generals and President Bush were not coordinated. Neither do they know about these words, "bring them on." It's an eerie plan. of some sinister of evil in high places. This is repeated 150 years later. Eerie fact number 9. First Anglo-Afghan War was the result of the British wary of the Russians attacking India. And for the very reason the British attacked Afghanistan to keep the Russians out of India. It was the Russiophobia. Then it was called the Great Game. History has repeated itself again. After 40 years, now the Americans have a Russian phobia. They repeat Russia's fear, the fear. And yet, behind the scene, they coordinated sinisterly. So this is another eerie repetition for the fear of the Russian. And yet, behind the scene, they're all one team. The US was in Afghanistan to attack Russia, a sinister repetition even today. Again, an evil design of some evil one. Eerie fact number 10. Do you know that President Biden objected to the evacuation of US troops in Saigon in Congress?
Learn how to design a bungalow in 6 sessions. You too can design bungalows from this masterclass. If you're a student, this class will help you achieve your dreams to design a bungalow. If you're a house owner wanting to learn your own dream houses, this is your opportunity to learn from a master designer. Learn all types of dream houses from our masterclass, such as French house, timber house, mountain log house, Malay house, or Japanese house. Call 017-2246-801 now for booking and get a 30% discount when you mention what's wrong out there.
And again, he rejected any aid of any form to the 1,500 Vietnamese refugees who were, as a result of Vietnam War, coming to America. He withdrew the troops. Ironically, in the recent war in Afghanistan, he withdrew the troops but abandoned the 10,000 over Americans in Afghan and accepted the refugees in droves. Either this is a truly lying politician or he's misguided by a sinister plan by an absent sinister master. Now, if you learn something new in this video, please strike the subscribe button. This is Architect Perumal from What's Wrong Out There.